Sang Kim now. Thanks so much. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thanks for joining us all the way from the States.
You're welcome.
And you're in the space that is really dear to my heart. Tell us what you do.
So I run a company called ShowMe. It's an educational company. It essentially turns iPads into your personal sort of interactive whiteboard. So it lets teachers and students share lessons and videos with each other just really easily. We have over 2 million people using the app, and about 1 million videos or so have been shared online.
And those are paid content?
No. Just free for now. We might start charging later on for a few features down the line, but right now it's all free.
And anybody can create that content, or is it curated?
Anyone can create it, but we do curate some of the best content, for the public. So it's sort of, you can't really see most of the content unless you really dig for it, or unless you know the people who created it. But on the front page and on the, on the app, we just kind of feature the best content.
And what are the most difficult things about disrupting education? Right. So we had a talk before with another guy, and we talked about the different verticals that are being disrupted, right? From video or music, the beginning, to video, and now education. So many startups in that space. What are the really critical things to change, and why is it so difficult?
I think education has some of the same problems that enterprise has, where the users aren't the customers a lot of the times, right? The people who are using the product don't make the decision on which products to buy, and that really makes it difficult for products that work well and are designed well to stand out above all the big companies that have sales organizations and relationships with schools. It's really hard to make inroads in the face of that. So I think that enterprise is starting to get disrupted now. I think education is a little bit behind, but still starting to happen. I think schools are becoming a little bit more flexible, a little bit more nimble when it comes to decision making. But I think there's still a ways to go. And I think for certain kinds of products, especially very heavy, expensive products that need a lot of relationships with schools, it's still really hard to break in.
So in essence, you're kind of trying to work without the t-shirt, cut the teacher out, the middleman out. You're going directly to the parents
actually,
who will at one point maybe buy the apps for the children?
We're actually, our strategy is to cut the school out of the decision making, but go straight to the teacher themselves. Okay. Right? And so we have an app, anyone can download it. We have a website, anyone can go to it. And we don't necessarily need the school's permission for teachers to use our app. So we have hundreds of thousands of teachers signed up for the app. We have many students who have signed up for it as well. We don't deal with parents as much, but just dealing with teachers directly allows us to be a lot more flexible and cost efficient, because we don't have to send people to the school districts and have those things. We can just market online and really let our teachers market the app for us, by just word of mouth.
And what do you think are still the important aspects of school in general, or in schools in general? If a lot of the knowledge is out there and we can be on our iPads, right, and online, and the knowledge is in the cloud, we can all tap into it. Right. Are schools still needed?
Well, I think teachers are needed, and I was a teacher for a while, and that's why I got into this. And I think that a great teacher isn't just someone who knows a lot of stuff, right? A teacher who is someone who can motivate and inspire students, and that goes beyond just knowledge or content. And that's really what we are all about. We're not about cutting out the teacher. We're actually about sort of amplifying the teacher's kind of effect and influence. So, we're really about personalized learning and personalized education, where a teacher can personalize and kind of, curate their content in a very specific way to talk to and sort of access their kids.
I think this is the right path, right? But still, don't you think that maybe game mechanics and just algorithms could, in a way, also personalize the content, that it becomes interesting for the student?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that is the case, we're a long way away, long ways away, and I think that in the meantime, teachers still serve a really important role. It's really going to be hard to replace all of what they do. Again, it's really not about the X's and Y's. It's really about the sort of personal connection that students get. And when I think of my favorite teachers, it's the teachers who weren't necessarily the smartest people, who had the best pedigrees, but who are able to connect with me specifically. So I think that level of personalized attention is something that the internet can help with, and not necessarily replace.
And do you think education is a very local mark because of all the regulations, the administrative sort of body surrounding it? How difficult will it be to have sort of a global educational player in the school age system?
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you want to do. You know, which part of education you want to go after. I think some parts of it are very regulated, but other parts, you know, for example, teacher tools, which really is a category that we kind of straddle, is something that's pretty open. Teachers can make decisions for themselves and kind of decide what apps to use and what websites they can, you know, refer their kids to. And so I think it really depends on the idea. It's not as easy as consumer internet, but I think there are opportunities there.
And you've been through Techstars, right? You're Techstars alumni?
Actually, I'm a Techstars mentor, DreamIt alumni.
Oh, you DreamIt alumni.
Yeah.
Got it. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience of founding inside an accelerator in the US?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it, and I tell everyone, I'll put it this way, like even if DreamIt, the people sucked, it still would have been a great experience because of just that setup. I mean, you're there for 3 months, you're surrounded by other startups doing interesting things, and it's kind of like a competitive but cooperative like summer camp, and you can't help but like focus extra hard and work extra fast. And so I feel like it literally does what it says. It accelerates your progress. And we probably got done like, you know, a year's worth of work in 3 months. Fortunately, you know, DreamIt didn't suck. The guys who were involved in it were awesome mentors, and you know, to this day they're really helpful. So, you know, for me it was a no-brainer.
Final question, kind of unrelated, but what do you think of Peter Thiel's initiative to get kids out of college and into the entrepreneurial path at early age on?
Well, I'm not opposed to it in general, and I don't think even he would suggest that for all students. I think, you know, if there are exceptional kids, you know, just like kids who skip college to go to the NBA, you know, I think it should be an option. I definitely don't see it as a mainstream thing, and I think that some form of education, not just in college, but throughout your life is really important. And so, again, I think it's just an option, and it's a great one for the kids who are involved in it. I'm curious to see how big it gets. I don't think it becomes completely mainstream ever.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.